What's up, welcome back to the channel. My name is Servida, and today we're breaking down the music theory of a popular YouTuber. But before we get into it, this video is brought to you by Melodics. Melodics is a free desktop app that teaches you how to play the keys. If you're struggling to make things like bass lines, chord progressions, and melodies, then this app is perfect for you. It goes without saying that being able to play the keys is so helpful if you're a producer. Not only does it improve your workflow, it also opens up new opportunities like live performance and studio sessions. There are over 400 lessons on the app, so whether you're starting from zero or you're more advanced, there is something for everyone. And they just added this new feature called the guided path mode that teaches you all the basic fundamentals of playing the keyboard. This is a video of me playing one of the basic lessons. First thing I'm doing is learning the individual parts, and once I get the hang of it, I learn the entire thing. This app has helped over 280,000 producers improve on the keys. If you want to get it, it's free to download. All you have to do is click the first link in the description. The artist we are taking a look at today is Aries. If you don't know who he is, he started as a YouTuber and he slowly just put out his own music. He put out a really dope album this year and it was super successful, so shout out to him. So we're gonna break down his three most popular songs: Sayonara, Carousel, and Race Car. When it comes to the theory of his music, it's really simple, but it's also very effective, and I think you guys can learn a lot from this. I would definitely classify him as some kind of alternative pop. Let's take a look at Race Car first, because this is my personal favorite out of his songs. So we start with this 3-chord progression: E flat major, A flat major, C minor, A flat major again. The melody on the top goes like this. And then later on, we get a synth that goes like this. One thing that's very important is that you have chord progressions that don't move around too much. What's really important in his music is common tones, and that's pretty much notes that are being shared between chords. Take this chord progression for example. An E flat major chord has an E flat, a G, and a B flat, and an A flat major chord has an A flat, a C, and an E flat. And you can see that both chords have this E flat, so that is a common tone. As you can see for the next one, we have A flat major, and we go to a C minor, which is a C, an E flat, and a G. And this one has two common tones with a C and an E flat. And what makes those common tones so important is now you don't have to move around as much. You can see this melody here, it's only 2 notes, but it works with every chord. So these are already part of the E flat major chord. This G isn't part of the A flat major, but it creates that nice minor 7 sound. C minor, still being shared in the chord. Then back to that. Just like his first melody, the top line is super simple. She said, I hate my dead job, I don't feel it, I need race car, top down, match my ceiling, blah, 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 blah. It's just 2 notes, E flat and F, we're just moving in between those. And the simplicity of it is what makes it so catchy. It's not a hard melody to sing, which means it's easy for people to sing along to it. I think that's what really gives it its pop appeal. And you're going to be seeing similar things with the other songs. Let's go over to Sayonara. For Sayonara, we start with an F major, A minor, D minor, B flat major. I'm gonna put these notes down an octave so you can really see how little movement there is with the chord progression. Anytime we're going to a new chord, there is a common tone that is being shared. F major to A minor, we have that A and the C. A minor to D minor, we still have that A. D minor to B flat major, we have the F and the D. And then B flat major to F major, we still have that F. We also have this really cool string sounding melody. Once again, the melody is really simple, it doesn't move around too much. And once again, the top line is really simple and it doesn't move around a lot. I don't know the lyrics of this song, sorry. Move to the side. Yeah, this is really similar to his other top line. We have this F that's really common in this chord progression, and this F is kind of the center of his melody, and he's just moving around it. Now let's take a look at Carousel. This chord progression is even more simple than the other two. It's just an A flat major and an E flat major. Just this. Really similar to the other 2 songs. So if I invert this, you can see that common tone in the E flat, and his top line really centers around the E flat. And you know, once again, you can see the melody really just revolves around this one common tone. And this would get kind of boring, but during the high points of the song, he would sing the same melody except up an octave. And that brings a lot of added energy into his songs. You can also see that his songs have really similar keys because he really found that sweet spot in his vocal range. You can also see in his songs that his chord progressions aren't really that on beat. He kind of staggers it or plays it ahead. So instead of having it on beat like this, he kind of makes it a bit more interesting by changing up the rhythm of the chord progression, like that. You can see it in Sayonara, instead of here, he moves it over here. You can see it in Race Card, instead of here, he moves it over here. So that's also one cool thing you can do to give it a bit more variation. Yeah, so everything I showed you was really simple. The chords and the chord progressions are nothing new. You heard this a million times in pop songs. The top line doesn't really move around a lot, but that's what makes it so memorable and catchy. And I think what makes it sound so good is that even though it's simple in this aspect, he can make up for it in other aspects of his music. So his drums are super trappy and they're super high energy, his percussions are unique and his patterns are really intricate. The instruments he chooses are very human and organic, and it gives it this authenticity that you don't hear often. And if you put that on top of a simple catchy melody with a chord progression that has stood the test of time, then it's a hit. Thank you so much for watching the video, hope you enjoyed it. If you guys want to see me do another music breakdown, make sure you comment the artist below, and I'll see you guys soon. If you have any suggestions, leave a comment. If you like this video, leave a like. If you really like this video, subscribe. If you didn't like this video, leave. Just leave. Get out of here.